I'm Dustin McCarty, the Africa Director for Strategic Impact International. And today we're going to take a look at the strategic impact process. Each of these events are like a link in a chain that should eventually lead to a nationally led, self multiplying, self sustaining church planting movement that can literally fulfill the Great Commission. So let's take a look at the very first link in that chain, which is the Vision Seminar. The Vision Seminar is a half to 1 day conference that introduces strategic impact into a new community and helps the pastors and leaders from that area to see the Great Commission. During this time, we begin to build relationships with local pastors, and we also share about the identity of strategic impact, who we are, what we do, the process and the things that we offer, but also, and this is quite possibly the most important thing, what we do not do. That we will not be building you a church building, that we will not be giving you money, nor will we be asking you for money, that we will not be planting strategic impact churches, but instead will help you plant your churches in new areas where there are no church. The people who are invited to this are all pastors and leaders from that area who have a desire to fulfill the Great Commission or to reach their community with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Is this necessary? The Vision Seminar is actually not necessary many times. If we're entering into a new place, but we already have enough connections there where there's momentum, there's understanding, then we may be able to just go ahead and start with a multiplying discipler launch or a leader launch. But if we're entering into a new area and they have no idea who Strategic Impact is, we only have one point of contact or very few, then it's a good idea to hold the Vision Seminar in order to make sure that there is clarity, understanding, and consensus about moving forward. The intended outcome of the Vision Seminar is that we would identify those pastors and church leaders who are wanting to continue. We know who's committed and who's not committed, so we can then move forward with those who are on board together. The second link in the chain is the Multiplying Discipler launch. This is designed to help pastors and leaders and people who are in their churches to experience the Great Commission. It's a 1, 2, or 3 day set of meetings. It can happen all in one time, or it can happen spread out, like every Saturday for 3 Saturdays in a row. The major components of this are learning how to share your testimony, learning how to use the Hope and Life evangelism tool, and learning how to use the Grow and Multiply discipleship tool so that every person who participates will know how to share the gospel and they will experience sharing the gospel in their own community. Then they will learn and understand how to disciple a new believer toward maturity, and then they will experience discipling those new believers toward maturity themselves. The intended outcome of the Multiplying Discipler launch is that a church body or multiple church bodies will not only have knowledge, but have experience in sharing the gospel, sharing their testimony, and discipling new believers toward maturity in order to help them experience the fulfillment of the Great Commission. The third link in the chain is the Journey Leader launch. This is designed to help those who are committed in that new area to learn the Great Commission. It's usually a 3 to 4 day intensive time of training and experience in three main areas: personal growth, leadership skills, and multiplication ministry. How to make disciples who then multiply, raise up leaders who then multiply, plant churches who then multiply, and eventually launch a church planting movement. During this time, we focus on the vision of fulfilling the Great Commission and the biblical process of 10 steps to reaching your lost world. At the end of this time together, we extend an invitation into our ongoing training called The Journey. The intended outcome of the leader launch is to get as many people into the journey process as possible so that they will continue the work even when we're not holding a conference. This is mission critical to fulfilling the Great Commission. That work doesn't just happen during a conference or during a meeting or during those special times. Those are important. But what's really important is that making multiplying disciples, discipling the new believers toward maturity, planting new churches, raising up leaders is an ongoing process and a normal everyday part of life for every believer. The next step in the SI process is the lifelong journey to reach your lost world. This is probably the most powerful part of our process because it's not an event, but it's ongoing training. There are 5 stages in the journey. Just like with a normal journey in life, if you were going on a hike with your hiking buddies, your team, as you go along, you would take periodic rest stops and you would get out your travel guide and figure out where you just were, share your experiences, where you are now, and what your plans are for the next leg of the journey. The lifelong journey to reach your lost world uses the same imagery. There are 15 rest stops. And so once a week, you and your journey team would stop, come together, talk about what you just did over the past week, go through a training and lesson about what's going on right now, and then make plans and commitments to the next leg of the journey for the next week. This also runs on the same 3 tracks of personal growth, leadership skills, and multiplication ministry. The journey is a powerful tool, but it does require commitment. The intended outcome of the lifelong journey to reach your lost world is for there to be multiplication movements that are multiplying to the 4th generation leaders, disciples, churches, and church planting movements, so that all may hear the only hope of eternal life in Jesus Christ, and that the Great Commission would literally be fulfilled. The next portion of the strategic impact process is leader intensive trainings, so that our leaders will continue to grow in the Great Commission. We recognize that while we're dealing with areas of personal growth, with areas of leadership skills and multiplication ministry, there are going to be times that we need to go deeper into a single subject or a single facet of a category. And so the leader intensive trainings are designed just for that. They'll take a single facet of personal growth, leadership skills, or multiplication ministry and go deeper into that specific area. Things like marriage and family, finances, things like servant leadership. There's various facets of this, and we continue to develop these different areas of leader intensive trainings to address needs as they come up and as we encounter them. The intended outcome of a leader intensive training is that each pastor and leader involved would have a deeper understanding and a more intimate walk with Christ in that particular aspect of leadership, of life, and of multiplication ministry. The last part of the strategic impact process is the Fan the Flame Leadership Summit. This is a time where we come together with SI staff, with leaders and pastors and multipliers who are truly doers of the thing, proven leaders, in order to strategize the Great Commission. We come together in sort of like a retreat where we spend time in prayer together. We spend time sharing testimony, sharing life together. But we also recast vision. We also provide specific training to the needs and struggles of that specific team. And then at the end, we come together and we make plans and strategies for the future in order that we can move forward together in that region to fulfill the Great Commission. The intended outcome of this is encouragement, is fanning that flame from embers into a roaring fire so that we can then move forward together for the next leg of the journey of fulfilling the Great Commission. I hope this time looking at the strategic impact process has been beneficial for you, that it's brought clarity and understanding into each of the components of the SI process, how you may use those, what their intended outcome is, and who's involved in each level of that process. Until next time, may God continue to bless you and others through you. Have a great day.